Thank you for joining us today. My name is Trevor Leahy. I'm the Small Business Ombudsman with the Oregon Secretary of State. I work for the Office of Small Business Assistance, and if you're in business and you've got a question, concern, or problem with a state or local government agency, we're the team you can contact. Today, we are presenting Livelihood Northwest. They are a technical resource provider in the Portland area, and we're joined by Gavin Devanther, who's going to tell us about Livelihood Northwest and the services they offer. Gavin, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Trevor. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Hello, my name is Gavin Devanther, and I'm a Senior Business Advisor with Livelihood Northwest in Portland, Oregon. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to talk about some of our business support services available in Portland and many available throughout Oregon today. So thanks for joining us. If you'll hold your questions until the end, we will stop recording and take questions at the end. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about who Livelihood Northwest is, and then our long-term business support programs, which are our most in-depth support programs for small businesses. We'll talk about kind of how their different qualifications might fit your needs, and then we'll walk through each program with a couple of details. We'll talk about how to apply or nominate someone for our program. We'll talk about some other support opportunities available, and then we will stop recording and take questions from those who are here with us in the room. So Livelihood Northwest, we actually spent 25 years under the Portland State University umbrella as the PSU Business Outreach Program. We were a community-facing program inside Portland State University. After 25 years of that, we wanted to expand beyond what they were able to support us in, and so we split with PSU. We are no longer owned by them, but we have a public-private partnership with them, and we can still access student resources to help businesses, which is a lot of fun. Now we are an independent nonprofit called Livelihood Northwest. We chose that name because it's more about the people than the actual business activities. We don't enter into business as a way to make money. We do it as a way to support our families and to create the lifestyle we're looking for. And that's what's really important for us, is it's not a business, it's your livelihood and it's your life. We are a team of professional business advisors and support staff. We do not rely on volunteers, so we are all on-staff professional business advisors, which is one of the things that sets us apart from many other support organizations. Our mission is to foster business sustainability and growth for historically underserved entrepreneurs within local communities. All right, so long-term business support is the catch-all phrase that we use for any programs where we have a year or longer engagement with the clients in these programs. So we have I'll talk about some of the light touch, what we call programs that aren't a year long, or ways to receive business assistance that aren't quite so long term. But our long-term programs are grant-funded programs, which means they are provided at little or no cost to the business owners that engage in them. And our goal is to help local businesses achieve their potential, whatever that means to the business owner. Sometimes that's high growth goals, and sometimes it's just stabilizing the family goals. And we really work to help businesses achieve wherever they want to go. Again, we have a staff of professional business advisors. So everyone that you're working with, this is what we do for a living. We're not retired professional volunteering our time that away in the Caribbean for part of the year. So we are here, we are engaged with our clients, and we love to have long relationships with them so that we can really become part of their business. We do what's called advising and technical assistance. Technical assistance being kind of the counterpoint to consulting. Consulting is that typical, here, you should do your budgets for next year, bye. But technical assistance starts with, have you ever done budgets for your business? No? Let's do them together. Let me pull up a spreadsheet and let's get going. So we really help business owners learn the skills that they'll need in the future to continue with their business. We like to say we work on the business side of the business. If I'm working with, say, a cookie making business, I don't teach them how to make cookies. They get to teach me that. But then I get to help them work on their management side and their financial analysis and their staffing and their supply and cost of goods. So the business side of running the business. We are industry agnostic. We work with companies in all industries. So I have clients from candy makers to auto repair. And really what we're helping with, like you said, is the business side of the business. All of our programs prioritize historically underserved communities. That includes BIPOC-owned businesses, LGBTQ-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, veterans, disabled service veterans, people living with disabilities, and LMI, what we call low to moderate income individuals. So people who fit a certain scale of income, which is probably higher than you might think it is, to be sure that we can serve business owners who just, if you can't afford $300 an hour consulting, that's a very different level of support needed. So the benefits, we do flexible and tailored support. All of our programs allow the business owner to work on whatever they and the business need to work on with the business advisor. We don't try and create, in 6 months, you have to write a business plan. If we try and shove everyone in a box, it doesn't fit anyone. So we really work on making sure that the support is tailored to what each business needs, and every business is looked at as an individual. Some of the things we work on most often: improving business and management skills, leadership skills, a lot of it improving financial skills. This is one of the things that business owners really have to get in touch with their own financial situation in order to make great decisions moving the business forward. Improving marketing skills, incredibly important. HR, attracting and retaining employees. Expanding professional networks. Nobody does successful business in a void. So it involves knowing an accountant, knowing an attorney, having connections with other business owners who, when you have a problem, you can reach out and connect with. So we really try and encourage our clients to expand their professional network so that they have resources to draw on. Another amazing thing is watching people increase their confidence as they realize that they are great at something and that they have skills that they can move forward with. It really helps people take better risks. And really creating a clear strategy for business in the future, but whether that means recovery right now from the COVID situation or the fires, or whether that means a growth plan for the future, and sometimes a little of both. The other thing we do is help people learn how to access capital, when they might need capital, how they might qualify, how they might use it effectively, and how they might plan a repayment strategy. Very important steps to growing and improving a business. So right now we have 4 active long-term business support programs. So again, these are programs where a business owner is engaged with a business advisor for a year or more. So generally 1 to 3 years. So we have 2 programs right now for any stage of business. So we have clients in this program from $1 post revenue to approaching $3 million. So really any stage of business, these programs are very flexible and provide really wraparound support for the entrepreneur. We also have 2 programs for established businesses ready to scale and grow. So these are a little more specific to larger businesses. We call these our intensive programs because they're going to combine not only one-on-one business advising, but group learning and peer discussion groups and guest expert appearances as well. So that becomes a pretty serious time commitment for a busy entrepreneur. All of our programs do include one-on-one professional business advising. That's the core of everything, is a one-on-one relationship with a business advisor. We also have an accounting team. And so our accounting advisors actually help businesses get in touch with their finances, learn how to do bookkeeping, choose a bookkeeping system, and then set up and get training on that system. Generally, that is QuickBooks. We do make some exceptions for a few other programs for certain businesses, but generally we train businesses on QuickBooks, and that's everything from basic business terminology all the way through, setting up your chart of accounts, learning the data entry, learning reconciliation, learning how to read the reports. We do have advisors who work in English and Spanish, so we can provide support in either language, including bookkeeping support. We also have a pretty large network of supplemental services available in the community that we can help refer people out to through our programs. All of our programs also include options for ongoing alumni support. So these are all programs available by application. So we've talked about some of the similarities. Let's walk through a couple of the differences, and then we'll quickly walk through some details about each program. So the differences, as I said, for business stage, the first two, the Groundwork programs are for any business stage. The Increase Project and the Ascend Portland are for businesses at more advanced stages. You can see that in the top box across the row here. Some of them are industry specific. Groundwork for the Trades is for construction and trades focused businesses. And Ascend Portland is our newest program, and our first cohort will be focused on food, beverage, and consumer product businesses. We will probably have a second cohort later in the year or early in 2021 that will focus on construction and service-based businesses. Because they come from different funding sources and different funders have different priorities, some of them have location eligibility requirements, some of them have income eligibility requirements, not all of them. The first two, the Groundwork programs, are solo programs in that we do rolling enrollment, and there are opportunities to connect with other business owners, but no requirements that you come together as a group. Our cohort learning programs do involve scheduled group learning sessions that are required for the program. So the time commitment required for the growth programs is much more considerable than the Groundwork programs. We'll talk a little bit about that as we get there. Our growth programs also have an engagement fee. It by no means pays for the program, but it makes sure that people are committed because they are intensive. And because some of the skills, particularly the financial skills that we dive into in these programs, can be challenging, having a small fee makes sure that people are engaged and show up. Adult learning needs to be very discussion focused, which I think is amazing and exciting, but it also means that the less people that show up, the less value that the people who do show up get. So that the engagement fee is really about making sure that everyone is fully committed to their business, to the program, and to each other for showing up for each other. So this chart is available on our website, and I'll share a couple of links later, but let's go on and walk through each program just briefly. So Groundwork for Small Business is our most basic program. This is a Prosper Portland funded program, so it does require that either the business or the owner be located inside the city of Portland. So this is the most geographically confined one, and it is also the most basic. This really just centers around a 1 to 3 year relationship with a business advisor. This is basically Prosper Portland paying for you to have a business advisor for up to 3 years. Surrounding that, there's a whole selection of specialty support available. So partnerships with the Small Business Legal Clinic and Metro Family Services for credit repair and credit counseling. There's like 24 different organizations in this network that we can provide referrals and sometimes subsidies and scholarships for programs. There is an income qualification for this program, as in you cannot be above a certain income, though it's probably much higher than you would imagine. It's based on median family income, not the poverty level. So it's actually much higher than you probably think. So this program, we take applications all year for this program. We do rolling enrollments. We'll probably enroll about 20 or 25 new businesses in our Groundwork for Small Business program this year. Second is Groundwork for the Trades. This program is geographically restrained only that it needs to be trade organizations who want to do contracting and subcontracting inside Portland. So this is kind of an extension of the Mentor Protege program or the minority contractor program to bring minority contractors into large contracts inside the city of Portland. So applicants do need to be either certified as or able to certify as minority, women-owned, or disadvantaged business, either a federal or state certification. There's a whole list of them in order to get the jobs that this program is aiming at. So there's no location about where your business is located, but it has to be businesses who want to do more work inside Portland. So this again is a one-on-one relationship with a business advisor for 1 to 3 years, a network of supplemental services, and this network does include very industry-specific support, classes in estimating and bidding, classes in presenting a subcontracting bid in the correct format, job costing and reporting systems that you'll need to subcontract on a major job. So this is very specific support for contractors. This is a pretty broad category, so it can include things like flaggers, architects, environmental services consultants, geologists, landscape companies. So in addition to the traditional trades, electrical, plumbing, roofing, all of those things, there's also all these supplemental services that might be needed in a major project inside Portland. So this program is also a rolling enrollment. We'll enroll about 15 businesses between now and the end of June 2020, and then hopefully another 15 the following year is our hope. Increase Project. This is the first of our growth programs. We call this our second stage growth program. This is for business owners who have realized that they've used every tool they have in their mental toolbox in getting their business to where it is now. And it's time for them to grow their skills in order to grow their business. So this really focuses on advanced business skills and business consulting. So it is an intensive program, as I said, and it combines one-on-one advising with group learning, peer support, and guest experts and connections to those people. Ideal candidates for this program have been in business for at least 2 years, are at or over or approaching $100,000 a year. We also are taking into consideration COVID, so businesses who may be expected to be there this year and aren't can still qualify. Businesses that have 1 or more employees so that they have someone to delegate to in order to make time for the learning in this program. Now, those are flexible, and we consider every application as an individual case, but those are the kind of ideal goals. Most importantly is that the business owner is ready to make time, engage, work on the business, and learn. This program has a very strong priority for BIPOC-owned businesses. Most of our cohorts are 100% BIPOC-owned. We will start this program will begin in November. So we are in the final stages of selecting applicants. I am open to a few more applicants. We would need applications ASAP for that. The Ascend Portland program is our newest program. This is actually a JP Morgan Chase program, so this is corporately funded. We will be the, I believe, 16th city in the Ascend network. So there is a whole network of other businesses in other cities to engage with through this program. Like the Increase Project, it does combine group learning and advising, guest experts, and peer discussion groups. It is, however, focused more on like the third stage of growth, that scaling growth. So a hot sauce company who is in all the local stores but is ready to move out nationally, or a restaurant that wants to bottle their sauce, or a lamp company who's ready to distribute nationally or internationally. So this really focuses on the scaling. It does have a management component. It works on a 3M model, they call it. So management skills is certainly something we work with. And then it's a lot of access to capital, making connections and learning how to access capital, what your options are, making decisions, and some direct connections to our money partners. And then market access, helping you find distribution networks, helping you find contracting opportunities, helping you find opportunities to grow your business beyond the size and geography it's currently at. For this, again, it's flexible, but ideal candidates have reached the $250,000 a year mark, have 5 or more employees, and this first cohort will be food, beverage, and consumer products, particularly packaged products that can be shipped around the world. Again, strong priority for BIPOC, women, LGBTQ, and veteran-owned businesses for this one. We've just pushed this one to January because of the election and because we're finalizing our contract with JP Morgan Chase. So we'll actually be beginning this program in January, but we are actively taking applications now for this program as well. Both Ascend and Increase, I want to be clear that Increase, we've had clients as big as $2.5 million a year, and Ascend is probably a great choice for businesses up to about $5 million a year. That's probably the sweet spot for these organizations. So if you're much larger than the 100,000, don't be feeling like this is too small for you. The bigger the business, the more businesses get out of this, because the more resources and the more history you have under your belt to work from. So how to apply? We have a single application for all 4 programs. You can fill out one application and apply for all of them. We consider every applicant for every program. So on our website, there's a link here on the screen. There's an Apply Now button. Every Apply Now button on every page gets you right to the same application. There's some dates there that if you're watching this post post these dates, realize that we are taking applications for these programs continually, and we expect them all to continue in the years to come. We also have added a new button for nominating a business. So on this page shown on the link here, there's a button that says nominate a business. This is a great way for people like Trevor or his staff or other providers, or even clients who know somebody who might want help to nominate a business. Tell us a little bit about them, and we'll go ahead and reach out to them from there and see if we can figure out how we might be able to support them, or potentially refer them to some other services. Okay, to close out, a couple other important support opportunities. We have a 5-week business development workshop series, and this series is, we call it Business Foundations, but we've had people in this class from, I think I might want to start a business, all the way through, holy moly, I've been running a business for 20 years and I'd like to learn a little more about running a business. So this is foundational business skills, marketing, financial analysis. We just start with mindset and entrepreneurial time management, all the way through kind of legal and some legal considerations. So it's kind of a groundwork skills for any business. And it's great for any entrepreneur. It is now being delivered online, so anyone across the state can sign up for this class. Our next one will be in January. We're finalizing a date right now, but that'll be available on our website very shortly for registration. Virtual business advising is something we started right in the midst of COVID. As soon as the shutdown began, we opened a virtual business advising line, so anyone in Oregon can make an appointment for free with one of our business advisors. There's a booking tool on our website. You can do several meetings. We have a 5 to 10 hour allotment for each business owner. So even if you're not qualified for any of our programs, you can have 5 to 10 hours of support from our business advisors through our virtual business advising program. Very little information about your business. So we have to collect a little bit of information for the funder who's supporting this, but we don't have to provide much information, and we can just help you with whatever it is you need to work on. Also, our special topic learning sessions, we're having 1 to 4 Mondays a month, depending on how much is urgent. We pick hot topics. Early on, it was PPP loan applications and EIDL applications, and now we're doing a lot about forgiveness and pivot strategies and moving into a digital marketplace. So we're selecting hot topics that our clients and our network are asking for, and we're doing Monday morning special topic learning sessions. The one coming up this coming Monday, we're going to do a live walkthrough of financial projections as we get to the end of the year and it's time to budget and make projections for next year for your business. If this isn't something you've done before, it can be really intimidating to look at an empty spreadsheet and figure out how you're supposed to decide what your office supply bill is going to be in March of next year. We're going to walk through how we do that live and some of the strategies we use for setting a financial strategy for the year. Thank you. I appreciate your time today. We will stop recording in just a moment and take questions. Feel free to share this information. Feel free to send out our links. Feel free to share about our programs. All of our front-facing programs are open to anyone who would like to sign up. Our special topic learning sessions are free. Our business development series is very inexpensive. It tops out at $175, but there are some subsidies and sliding scale available on that. Very inexpensive, and virtual business advising is free. So please reach out, engage. If you don't know where you might fit, send an email to hello@livelihoodnw.org, and we'll be happy to help you find out where we might be able to get you some business support in these challenging times. Thank you so much. I'll turn it back over to Trevor.
Thank you, Gavin. If anyone wants to get more information about reaching my office or my team, or has questions and are trying to reach Gavin, you can reach out to Gavin using the contact information she just provided. You can also reach out to the Small Business Advocacy Team by calling us toll-free 844-469-5512 or emailing us at business.sos@oregon.gov. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.